I got a question recently from someone in Germany, and it was a really good question, and it was about the lateral pelvic tilt, and wouldn't the left hamstring be playing a role in that lateral pelvic tilt? And it's a great question because I remember when I was still in my pelvic tilt 7 years ago, after a 2-day back spasm where I couldn't get up off the ground, and I was left in this tilt, and I was still trying to figure out what was causing it. And I remember the confusion was that I would be looking at diagrams, and I kept thinking, all right, so what's pulling it down or what's pulling it up? And the confusion was really because I was looking at it from a two-dimensional perspective. I believe it would be thought of as two-dimensional. You know, you're looking at a picture or a drawing or whatever it's going to be flat, but we're not flat. We are three-dimensional, and muscles all work in 3 dimensions, and the pelvis is no different. So if you were to look at a picture of a pelvis and tilt, right, whether the left side is higher or the right side is higher, it really does not matter. If one side is higher, and let's just say the right side is higher because it's a little bit more common, but again, it doesn't matter, as you'll see. So let's say the right side is higher. You're looking at this in what we would call the frontal plane. So this is the frontal plane. It divides the front part and the back part, and it's just like this, frontal plane. You're looking at it from the frontal plane. But what you're not seeing is that the pelvis does not just move in the frontal plane. It moves in the sagittal plane and the transverse plane. So we have forward and back movements and rotation all going on at the same time. But the pictures that we look at do not show this. It just looks like it's frontal. Like one side is up, one side is down. You don't also realize that one side is forward, one side is back, and one side is rotating to one direction and the other side is rotating, well, the front side is rotating one direction, the back side is rotating the other direction. It's a ring. So whatever one side does, the other side will generally do the opposite. Or whatever the top does, the bottom will do the opposite. And that's where the confusion comes in. So if he was looking at this picture probably like this, because that's what he said, he had a pelvic tilt that was higher on the right. He asked, wouldn't the left hamstring, which attaches right kind of here at the base of the pelvis, wouldn't it be pulling down? And if so, why would you want to use the left hamstring to get rid of the pelvic tilt? What you can't tell on a diagram on a paper is this, that the pelvis is forward in the sagittal plane. It has moved forward, and actually it's externally rotated slightly, but it's not even going to bother with that. The pelvis on the left side has rotated forward. So if this is where the hamstring attaches, and this is the ground, when the pelvis on the left side moves, it's hard to do with just 2 hands, if it moves forward, the hamstring actually, the attachment, the ischial tuberosity moves backwards and up as the pelvis on the top moves forward and down. So it does the opposite. So this left hamstring is not pulling the pelvis like this. In fact, the pelvis is doing this. All right, so the pelvis in the front is coming forward and kind of down, while the pelvis on the bottom, the hamstring, is moving back and up. So it's actually lengthening. So the hamstring in a lateral pelvic tilt, which is really an anterior pelvic tilt, which orients the pelvis entirely to the right, and then some muscle, you don't know which muscle it is, might be a little overactive. Let's say the right QL gets a little overactive and it starts to pull it up a little bit. Could happen. But also you have the upper body, the rib cage, which may on the right side can get pulled down, and now it looks like you have more of a pelvic tilt than you really do. So there's a lot of things that are going on. But underneath this, whatever this pelvic tilt representation is, whether the left side is higher or the right side is higher, the left side of the pelvis has still moved forward and rotated the pelvis to the right. That's the important thing to remember. So the hamstring is actually, because this insertion point is moving further away from the ground, further away from the knee where the hamstrings are going to attach roughly. Not, obviously it's not attaching on the knee, it's passing the knee, but It's a good landmark to look at. Not only that, it's weak and it's being stretched, if anything. Then the left leg, if the pelvis goes to the right, I'll just use my hand. My leg will now also be oriented to the right. This is my left leg. I need to stay straight. That's not a good state of affairs. It's going to be very difficult to walk if my left leg and my left foot are turned towards the right. I'm just going to keep walking in circles to the right. My left leg then has to turn out a little bit and probably abduct in order to do that. And at that point, the left hamstring is being lengthened even more, all three left hamstrings. So all three left hamstrings are not contributing to the pelvic tilt in an active way. They're contributing to the pelvic tilt through their absence of activity. They are not strong enough to pull the pelvis back on the left and then to orient the pelvis to the left when your weight is over to the left. So the left hamstring is not pulling the left side of the pelvis down. It is actually absent. We need to get it more involved because, again, this is only 2 dimensions or 1 dimension, I don't even know. It's not 3-dimensional. This is not how the pelvis is. This is how the pelvis is. And that's what you can't see in a diagram that's just drawn on a page or a picture. You're not seeing the 3-dimensional aspect of it. So no, the left hamstring is probably not contributing to the lateral pelvic tilt through activity. It's contributing through its absence because it can't provide opposition. It can't pull your body weight and your pelvis back to the left, so the pelvis stays stuck in that position. And if it's stuck too long, you could certainly end up with a pelvic tilt. So that's the important thing. Remember, everything, and this is why it's kind of hard to put all this together without help, everything is 3-dimensional. When you're looking at a picture, you're only seeing 2 dimensions, and that is not an accurate representation of how the human body works.